Most people are terrified of failure, but failure is not the biggest threat to your future. Average is, because failure gets your attention. Average doesn't. Failure forces you to change. Average convinces you to stay exactly where you are, and that silent comfort may cost you decades of your life. Today, we're talking about the hidden cost of being average, and why it quietly steals your potential, your wealth, and your future. Nobody dreams of becoming average. Nobody says, when I grow up, I hope to live a life that is just okay. But that's exactly where millions of people end up. Not because they're lazy, not because they're incapable, but because average feels safe. It doesn't hurt enough to force action. And that's what makes it dangerous. You tolerate a job you don't love. You tolerate income that barely grows. You tolerate goals that slowly disappear. Not because you're happy, but because you're comfortable enough. And comfort is often the enemy of growth. One bad decision rarely ruins a life. What ruins a life is drift. A year without learning. A year without growing. A year without building. Then another. Then another. And suddenly 5 years are gone. The problem is that average never announces itself. It arrives quietly. One postponed goal, one missed opportunity, one excuse at a time. Most people think average only affects success. It affects wealth too. Average earners often increase spending every time income increases. Average investors wait too long. Average thinkers consume more than they create. And average financial habits repeated for decades create average financial outcomes, not because the person lacks intelligence, because systems create results. And average systems create average lives. If this video is making you think differently, subscribe for continuous growth, because small shifts in thinking can create massive shifts in results over time. The real danger isn't being average today. The real danger is becoming attached to it, because identity follows behavior, and eventually people stop saying, "This is temporary," and start saying, "This is who I am." That's when growth becomes difficult, because now you're defending the very thing holding you back. High performers are not always smarter. They're not always more talented. But they have a lower tolerance for stagnation. They don't wait until life becomes unbearable. They act while change is still optional. That's a massive advantage, because the earlier you improve, the less catching up you need later. Most people underestimate what 10 years can do. A single skill, a single business, a single audience, a single investment habit, repeated consistently, can completely transform a life. Excellence compounds, just like mediocrity compounds. The question is, which direction are your daily habits moving you? Imagine meeting yourself 10 years from now. Would that future version thank you, or ask why you settled, why you stayed comfortable, why you waited? Because time doesn't care about intentions, only actions. The biggest risk in life is not failure. Failure teaches. Failure exposes weakness. Failure creates urgency. Average does none of those things. Average quietly convinces you that tomorrow is guaranteed, that there will always be more time, that someday you'll start, but someday is where dreams go to die. So don't ask, "How do I become extraordinary?" Ask, "What am I tolerating that is keeping me average?" Start there. Because extraordinary lives are often built by refusing to accept average ones. Subscribe for continuous growth. And always remember, you are the magnet.